Wheeler, familiar face here at the press conference. Congratulations on your sudden death round one win.
Thank you.
What did you think first thing this morning when you heard that the cut weight was going to be 22 pounds?
I was probably one of the only anglers that had a little bit prior experience on that lake, so I knew how good it was. But this is the thing. In Major League Fishing, we try to keep everything as level playing field as possible. So I knew, the areas maybe that I would be fishing or that I would wanted to fish would have a lot more boats in it too. So 22 pounds, I thought it was going to be done in probably a period. Someone was going to go out in a period, and then no way it was going to go 2 periods.
Let's go back to first thing this morning. 5:30 a.m., your boat official told you that the parking lot was the boat yard. What were you thinking?
For me, it was really just like I knew the program because I've been here before, and it went down the exact same way. So it was already like when they said Winyah, I was like, good. I went straight to the boat, didn't even look at the map, started rigging tackle and put stuff in the top. And I didn't really want to reveal it because everybody knew that, but I was like, all right, last lake that I went to, 7 out of the 10 guys or 7 out of the 9 guys had been to that body of water. So I was sitting here in the dark. This lake, I got the upper hand a little bit.
Awesome.
So the schedule of your catches today, you went through, you caught 2 good fish like immediately, and then you went through kind of a slow period there, and then you kind of came on hot to finish out. Explain how that all happened.
So basically, I went back to a creek, and the problem with, the thing with Winyah is that the lower third of the lake is real defined. And then when you get up to the upper, about midway up, everything spreads out, okay? Everything is grass beds for miles, and it's hard to find edges. It's not well marked or anything on a map. So you have really 2 or 3 options. Either find the edge there, or you go up in the creeks where everything defines back down where the largemouth would live. So I chose to go up in a creek. 4 or 5 other anglers ran up in there too as well. Or I think there was 4. And only 2 stayed to start. So there's 3 of us in this creek that's probably, it's probably a quarter mile long. But I knew it was going to get split up very quickly. I knew that I was going to be able to catch a couple of fish more than likely. If I capitalize on them, then I could at least get a jump start and then go fishing from there. And that's sort of how it went down. I got a good jump start in the creek, knew it wasn't going to go, I had a couple more bites, had, opportunity at probably 14, 15, 16 pounds. And then after that, I knew there's too many anglers in that area, and I needed to bail and go look for something else.
One factor we obviously can't ignore today was the weather. How do you think that affected your fishing?
Oh, no doubt that the weather dictates where those bass go on a given day. What they do is they will literally, a largemouth today, once I figured it out, almost all of them were on the edge. And that was a huge key, figuring that out, because normally you think, okay, northern largemouth, they're going to be up in the lily pads, underneath the mats. I caught one underneath the mat, but it was close to an edge. And everything was pretty much defined to some sort of edge. And those fish were off the sides of it. They might have been sitting on the side of it or just inside the grass. And when you threw that frog or top water or something swimming by them, that's when they would come up and react.
You won the last Cup event in Eufaula, Alabama. So does that put added pressure on you for this event?
No, I think this one is my full-time, just my first full-time as a Cup angler. And there's no doubt that I want to win every single one of them. I want to win every single day. I want to win every single one of them. That's just who I am. It's how I want to, that's what I want to be. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen every time, but you always aspire to do that. For me, it's, it would be great to win back-to-back Cups. That's definitely I want to win. Then after that, I want to win the next one, and then after that, I want to win the next one. After that, I want to win the next one, and then I want to win the World Championship. So, you never know when it's your time, and you need to capitalize on every single time that you have an opportunity. And Van Dam talks about it all the time. He's won so much, but knowing that cherishing every win is really, really something, because you never know when your next one's going to happen, if it ever. So, hopefully the next one's on Saturday. But I'm looking forward to it and seeing what happens.
What changes in your baits and techniques did you make between your elimination round and the event today?
Well, it was a totally different playing field, and that's the biggest thing is, it went from one extreme to the next, 4 and 5 pound smallmouth to 4 and 5 pound largemouth. to deep, clear lake, seeing down 10 feet to be able to see down 2 feet in grass. So I went, big line. The first period, the first elimination round that I fished, it was 6-pound line, spinner rod, medium light, and catching those big smallmouth. And then on this side, it was just totally different. It was frog and flip and 65-pound braid, heavy line, winching them in. It was power fishing at its finest. So totally different spectrum, but totally different deal on both sides. But it was cool to switch it up and know, hey, pick up the big stick and go and have some fun today.
So speaking of switch up, you're going to switch up again to another format for the next one. So you got past sudden death, which I believe the last time you were sitting up there, you said that you didn't feel you were great at sudden death.
No, I'm not normally. It just takes you have to really, what's the word? You have to really get after it in the first and second period, because it's gonna have. I mean, it's not a time limit. It's like a weight, and it's not like we have all 3 periods to figure it out, and you can eventually move back up. It's not like that. So you have to go all out from the beginning. Wherever you feel like you can get a bite, you need to go there and catch that fish, because that adds up, and all of a sudden you're out. So today I learned a little bit better, and every fish that I caught, I knew, like, hey, I just need 2 more pounds. I need 3 more pounds. I need 5 more, whatever it is. It's a goal. It's a reachable goal, and you have to think about it differently, rather than in elimination round and in the championship. It's all about catching as many of them and as many big ones as you possibly can catch. So it's just a different mentality, and today it worked out pretty well.
Jacob, you've secured a spot in the championship round. What do you do now to set yourself up for success on Saturday?
I think you rig up as many rods as you possibly can, and you get out there and you just fish the conditions. I think that's all you can do. There's a lot of big largemouth up here in this area, and there's a lot of big smallmouth. So I'm looking forward to doing either one.
One last question, Jacob. People who are watching the show are going to see maybe a different storyline as things unfold. Wesley Strader obviously was in the lead for most of the first period going into period 2 until you kind of hit that flurry. What did that do mentally to you to kind of hear that score tracker light up with all these other people having these catches until you really hit your stride?
Well, I mean, it was really, for me, it was just understanding where, like, trying to figure out a game plan to get to that 22 pounds. And obviously I thought, hey, Wesley's going to go out soon. It's not going to, it's going to happen within probably the first couple casts in the second period. But it didn't, and I realized how slow it was, and you get 9 great anglers on a body of water like that, and they're all trying to do the same thing, or 6 out of the 9 of them are trying to do the same thing, running creeks and this and that. You're going to split up fish, quick. And so I knew that pressure was going to get up quickly. So I think that's what happened with Wesley. You try to, when you get a lead, sometimes you just try to push it, just especially when you're only 3 pounds out, and you've caught so many 4-pounders or a couple 4-pounders, you could get there. So for me, it was just, I knew at the end of the day it was never going to hold up, and I got to consistently try to look, always be looking for the next best deal.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today,
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations on your win. Good
Thank
luck
you.
in the championship round on Saturday.
Thanks.